Hello and welcome to the Marketing and New Business Short Courses Student Information Session. With me today, I have Chief Academic Officer Iona McKinney. Iona, welcome.
Hi, James. Thanks. Thanks for that. I'm really looking forward to talking about these courses because they create some great opportunities for people that actually study them, and they're also a great way to learn new skills about different areas when we're working as well.
Yeah, definitely. And look, what I really like about this particular set of short courses is there's application not just for those perhaps already in employment, looking to specialise in a certain area, but also those that are in perhaps the entrepreneurial space, starting a new business, looking for some frameworks, skill sets and competencies to work from when it comes to establishing their own entity. So with that in mind, let's have a look at the course outline and the skill sets themselves and, of course, some of the key competencies that they deliver. Over to you.
So, thanks, James. I got so excited there. I'm sorry I spoke over the top of you. So today we're looking at the micro business skill set, the BSB S00102, and the BSB S00107 marketing and communication skill set. Now these are both really great skills bags, if you like, or groups of skills and knowledge that really do us such a favour in our working life anyway. Irregardless of whether we're somebody who's entering the workforce, whether we're somebody that's been in the workforce for a while, whether we're starting our own new business, which these skill sets really assist us with. We might be somebody who's, for example, looking at developing new business opportunities as well and getting the message out there about those things. So these two skill sets, although they can be studied separately, can also be studied together. And so the micro business skill set has a duration of around 6 weeks, and the marketing and communication skill set has a duration of around 18 weeks.
Excellent. And look, as you said, they can certainly be done individually, the skill sets, but they can also be done together. And I think that's probably one of the key reasons why we sort of, put them together in this framework of sort of new business and marketing, because they really do, I think, work together extremely well, particularly in that context of whether it be in a employee or perhaps a new business and startup context as well.
Oh, definitely.
The units themselves. Okay, so we made mention that we've got with the marketing skill set, we've got the 6 units over an 18-week period, and then we've got the micro business skill set, which is 2 units over 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. Talk to us about the units themselves.
So in our marketing and communication skill set or short course, we look at a whole range of things that we really do in marketing. And whether that's marketing for an organisation that we're wanting to work with or we're already working with, or whether it's our own business, or whether it's just a real area of interest for our future career. We look at making presentations, how to create those great ideas and how to work through, that wonderful consultation process, that brainstorming process. Where we develop new ideas and we develop solutions, and we look at how to take those ideas to market and our products to market. We also look in this short course about how to think about and how to work out just what our customers are thinking and what the responses are and to our marketing activities. And the other thing we look at is knowledge and communications, knowledge of the communications industry, which is really important because we've got some guidelines and some acts and some legislation, such as the Spam Act, for example, that we really need to take into account. The other thing we also look at is writing complex documents. And complex documents in a marketing context could be any one of a number of things. So it could be writing up a product brief, it could be writing up that marketing plan, it could be a whole range of other things that form what a complex document is in a marketing and communications context. Now the second skill set, which is the micro business skill set, builds on what we've looked at in marketing and communication, but it also looks at those core things that are so important for any business. So it brings in investigating business opportunities and looking at feasibility and how to actually grow a business. And it looks at developing business plans as well. Now, all of the things that we've looked at in our marketing and communication short course also come across into developing our business plans, because one of the major parts of our business plan, of course, is competitor analysis. A marketing plan, looking at those marketing channels that we'll be going to utilize for our new business idea. So the two short courses, if you like, really do complement each other and provide a great opportunity for people to learn and develop in these areas.
Now, what I've done is had a look at some of the relevant occupations to these particular skill sets. And really, there are just so many different applications, as we said, in both that employee context, but also self-employed and new business context as well. Now, I won't go through anything and everything up there, but certainly have a look at that list of relevant occupations that you can see in front of you and take the time to kind of go through them after today's student information session when you download the course brochure, which of course will be made available to you. But one thing that I have done is, of all those roles, I sort of picked one out that I thought was quite applicable and got some employment information from SEEK just this October 2021. Now, the role that I took was a marketing consultant. Of course, there's a whole myriad of sort of different marketing and business roles that you could pick from. But what was particularly interesting about this one was we've got an average salary of 70,000, which is very strong, which in my opinion, identifies that there's certain demand in the industry for individuals with those skill sets. And certainly over the last 2 years as well, we've consistently seen demand coming through which is demonstrated by sort of vacancies and job advertisements for those with marketing skill sets. So certainly a lot of demand out there in the industry. And what's more, particularly if you're a strong communicator and perhaps even entrepreneurial to some degree, it really kind of lends itself to that idea of being engaged in your role. And that's in many respects reflected in the job satisfaction of 4.5 out of 5. And that was, as I said, some numbers that came through in October just this year. Now, the learning materials themselves, we've had a look at the units. How are they brought to life?
Okay, so excuse me, my apologies. The learning materials are comprised of a mix of textbooks and workbooks that contain additional extension activities, so students are able to actually explore many aspects of what they're learning. Recorded tutorials and video are available in some units for these courses, and of course they're all delivered in our learning management system. So included in the learning management system, students will be able to see everything from textbooks to their learner guides, study guides, their PowerPoint presentations, the referencing guide and the study support tutorials as well that are made of, or study support tutorials singularly, that are made available to students. So the learning materials are actually quite comprehensive for these short courses.
Excellent. Now, really, as an extension of the learning materials themselves, are the assessment functions that students will be exposed to throughout the skill set. Talk to us about those.
So here at Mentor Education, we consider assessment to literally be an extension of what you've been learning. So as you move through your units of competence that you're studying, you will actually practice certain things, which actually provides an opportunity for students to practice what they're going to be completing for the assessment. Of course, it's not the same task, they're very different. But commonly, assessments here at Mentor Education are made up of short or long answer questions, case study or scenario responses, projects, for example, where we might look at developing a business plan and go through the consultation process and marketing and so on and so forth, and presentations. In some units, there are research tasks where we encourage students to go out and investigate and come back and either create a case study about what they've learnt themselves rather than just responding to one, or even create white papers. So our assessment tasks are also structured in such a way that students will be preparing their assessments and completing their assessments in a work-like manner. So as we as our students exit the courses that they're studying, they actually take true work skills and the ability to create those workplace documents in the workplace as well. Excuse me. So, yes, assessments do vary, and commonly a student would come across 2 or 3 of these different types of assessment tasks in each assessment for their unit.
Okay, excellent. Now, the online learning experience, I thought I'd just kind of dive into that a little bit and talk about what are some of the key requirements to access the learning materials and, of course, the assessments. Now, first thing you're going to need is access to a reasonable and stable internet connection, a desktop or laptop computer, and on that desktop and laptop computer, a browser. So through your browser, you'll be able to access the Learning Management System, or the LMS as we call it, and there you'll be able to log in and get access to all of your learning materials, links to your readings, your presentations, whatever it may be, that forms part of the course itself. In addition to, and I think probably one of the great benefits of it being made available online, of course, 24 hours a day, is that there's that flexibility of being able to make the online study fit in with what it is that you're doing. And it could be working full-time, it could be working full-time and running your family full-time, just about anything and everything else that we've got going in our lives at the moment. So certainly in responding to that need for flexibility when it comes to study and upskilling, particularly in today's environment, the online learning experience really lends itself to those requirements. So in summary, laptop or desktop computer, reasonable internet connection, and on that laptop or desktop computer, a browser. So that could be Chrome, Firefox, your Mac equivalent, whatever it may be. And of course, one of the great advantages of that as well is that when it comes to access your learning materials, perhaps such as your reading or presentations, you may decide that you'd like to do it perhaps in transit on a smart device, such as a phone or a tablet, or even in bed. And of course, that option is there for you, which really, again, adds to that idea of flexibility that's made available for your online learning experience. That said, with a caveat though, however, when it comes to doing your assessments, we strongly recommend doing that, of course, on a laptop or a desktop computer. Now, throughout the course, you are exposed to a whole range of support functions really from day one. And the first, of course, support function you'll be exposed to is the education advice team, who will speak to you about what it is that you're currently doing, where it is that you'd like to go. And then from there, obviously, consult with you to identify what's going to be the most appropriate education solution for you. And in this case, it may very well be the marketing new business short courses. Now, once enrolled, you're linked in directly with the Student Support Officer team, who will help you with just about anything and everything when it comes to working through your online course. And that could be taking you through the online learning management system, resetting passwords, setting up appointments with your education team, who arguably really are probably going to be one of the most important body of support throughout the learning process. Now, I know what I'm going to do is hand on over to you to talk to us about some of the support functions that are made available to students through the training, assessment and education team.
Certainly, thanks, James. Students are able to actually contact us directly between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and ask to be put through to an educator to speak with them about their query or their what they're wanting support for at that particular time. So we really encourage our students here at Mentor Education to just reach out to us. If you're unable to call during that time, please, we encourage our students to contact the service email address, and somebody will actually contact them and make an appointment. So there's a number of different ways that students can actually contact the educators for the course, as well as the student support team. So calling in via the chat function, as you mentioned, but also via bookings. So students are able to book a consultation session or a support session with the educators for their with an educator for their course or trainer for their course during business hours, so between 9 and 5. In some courses, there is support sessions available also for appointments on Saturday afternoons. So students just need to have a conversation with the student support officer, and they'll assist them to arrange that for them. But there's a range of other support that we also provide to students here at Mentor Education, because we really understand that life happens, and we also understand that these are challenging times. We also understand that sometimes we just can't we haven't managed to get our course started, or we've got halfway through something and we really need a bit of support to continue with that. So having said that, here at Mentor Education, we don't charge for course extensions. We don't charge for resubmissions and remarking, and we do encourage students to just reach out to us. There's other alternatives available than to just give up on your course. So as I said before, there's a real, and you said, James, there's a really wide range of support that's available for students, Monday to Friday, and students just need to let us know.
Now, what I've done is put together a series of questions that we often get asked by students when they're considering taking on a skill set or a qualification or whatever it may be. And the first one is, can I get government funding? And the short answer to that is no. So all of our courses are self-funded, but that said, we do have payment plans and options available. Now, when it comes to starting, really you can start at just about any time. And we say, look, if you can get an enrolment into us through our online enrolment portal, which is designed to be really, really easy, simple and accessible, we can have you up and running with access to your course within around about a 24-hour time frame. It's all included. So anything and everything you need, from the learning materials to the online textbooks, to the assessments, as Iona said, resubmissions, extensions, all of that is actually included in your initial enrolment fee. So really, once you enrol, there's no more to pay when it comes to certainly achieving the qualification and the desired outcomes when it comes to this particular series of short courses, or even the short course by itself. What's the difference with the study options? Now, some courses will, of course, provide you with an opportunity to get involved with live, online, real-time, classroom-based tutorials and assessment support sessions. Where those options are available, we do, of course, encourage students to get involved in those. The course, so the skill sets are nationally recognised in all states and territories around Australia. There are no prerequisites to the course, but we do recommend that you have a reasonable command of English and reasonable numeracy skills as well. But of course, if you've got any questions about that and you're not sure, just contact the Education and Advice team and they can take you through all of that information. And how long do people usually take to finish? Well, of course, that depends on what skill sets that you're working with. So really, that's entirely up to you, but the timeframes that we identified earlier on are really the ones that you want to work towards and the ones that you want to have in your mind. But of course, as we said, if life happens and you do need to put your course on hold for one reason or another, that option, of course, is available to you as well. Now, we've talked, I think, a lot about the support functions and how that, I think, is really embedded in our ethos. To give you a bit of background, Mentor's been delivering online education since 2003 in the financial services, the business and the accounting space. And I think part of that, and I think one of our true passions, is student outcomes. Now, we've got some student outcomes from last year, and I think the numbers that we've got up in front of us, which I'll hand on over to you to talk to us about what they mean, really reflects what it is that we try and deliver as an education institution. Over to you.
So, James, we thought we'd share this at the end of this session today, because sometimes when we're looking at options for study, we really want to know what other people think. So what we see here is the results of the National Student Outcomes Survey, which happens every year. And it's undertaken by the National Centre for Vocational Education and Research. And what we're looking at here on the screen is what our students said about Mentor Education. So 92% of our graduates are employed or they enrol in further study after training. 91.6% of our students are satisfied with the quality of their training. And 90.2% of students are satisfied with the way that their assessment is undertaken. So overall, 86.5% of our students would actually recommend Mentor Education as a training provider to somebody else. So our commitment to our students and our commitment to our students' outcomes is demonstrated here by what our students say about us.
Now, finally, if you'd like more information about what we've talked about today, best bet is to head on over to the website, so mentor.edu.au, and there you can view the marketing and new business short courses page, or of course the individual skill sets pages by themselves. You can download the course guide and get all the information that we talked about today, plus a little bit more, so with some real details about each of the individual units. Otherwise, contact us direct via email. So courseconsultant@mentor.edu.au. You'll be put directly through to one of our education advice team members. And of course, you can ask them any questions that you may have and request more information that way. Otherwise, pick up the phone, 1300 306 146, give us a call. And again, you'll be able to speak directly with one of our education advice team members based here in Melbourne. And you can get them on the phone between 9 and 5, Monday to Friday in Melbourne and Sydney time. And of course, if none of those options work, as I said earlier on, we've also got a live instant messaging chat function on the webpage. So you can actually chat in real time with the education advice team as well. Iona, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, James. It's been really great being here talking about our micro business and marketing short course options.
Excellent. And thank you to everybody who tuned in. As always, take an opportunity to excite your potential. We look forward to seeing you as students very soon, and we'll catch you next time. See you.